Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, he never goes full disclosure. It's Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, buddy. How are you?
I am good. I am very impressed by you, sir. Not only did you see an amazing amount of movies this weekend, you also had time to make a complete recreation of my childhood home. And I was so impressed. You are so on theme. I thank you for that. Made me feel so warm and relaxed and ready to talk alien stuff, sir. Are you?
I am ready to go, buddy.
You pumped? Are you your eyes turning blue and you're all dialed in?
I don't want to give anything away. We'll see.
Okay. Well, that should give it away for everybody else for what we're going to talk about today. We are going to talk about Papa Spielberg's new film, Disclosure Day, which, you know, Shane, like I don't want to control the box office just yet, but I do want to give some stats, some numbers, of course, right up top. 6.8 IMDb, 74 Metascore, 3.3 Letterboxd. So we'll start there, and you know we'll kind of work our way into our review of that. So keep that in the back of your mind. But also 93 million worldwide in the opening with a 44 domestic number. Now, I kind of was okay for a number, but I was also like, what else kind of did in that range? And the movies that I would say is probably not encouraging. I don't know if this, I thought like maybe this movie had a chance to make, I don't know, War of the Worlds money or Ready Player One money. I don't think so. So because Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu, I think had a similar opening number to this one.
It did. And
we're seeing that fall off a cliff. And even that, I think, is heading towards 300 something.
Right.
Maybe. So I don't know if this is even going to make that. So we'll keep that in mind, too. We'll see what's worth it here. How about that? We'll talk about Mr. Steven Spielberg, his new movie, a story by him that he wrote a 50, 60-page outline for in the Notes app, Shane. A man after my own heart, because I'm sitting there writing notes all day on these movies. This screenplay is written by David Koepp, which, I never want to complain about, one, a screenwriter that I like, but the movies he's done with Spielberg, it's Jurassic Park, and then it's everything else. The other ones are all like, not my favorite Spielberg. So that kind of was in my mind a little bit watching this as well. It stars Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Eve Hewson, Coleman Domingo, alongside Wyatt Russell, Elizabeth Marvel, and Jeremy Shamos. This movie is about a cybersecurity expert who becomes a whistleblower to reveal secrets about aliens, putting him on the run from a corporation while a meteorologist experiences strange phenomenon and joins forces with him to prove there's life beyond our knowledge. With the extra little tag here, if you found out we weren't alone, if someone showed you, proved it to you, would that frighten you? And I guess that's kind of the beating heart of this movie, the backbeat of this movie. There's a lot more themes and everything else going on here. But I'll put it out here, and I want to know your opinion on it as well. You know, I'm a huge Spielberg fan. I've seen him talk live. I have a million movies that I go back to. I think he's probably one of the most rewatchable filmmakers of all time. And a lot of this movie had that classic Spielberg feel that I haven't felt in years. But I will say, I don't know if I fully locked in on these characters, and I don't know if I fully had a shake on this film, because you can get kind of lost in it. What did you feel when you got done with Disclosure Day?
It's a great question. I've been going back and forth this, and it's not clear in my head, right? So
right. I'm the same way.
I feel the same way after I got out of Project Hail Mary. Okay, so before you come down on me,
yeah, I'm not going to equate those.
I love Spielberg. But as I'm watching this movie, I'm like, I don't think I've ever enjoyed anything since Minority Report, which was 2001, Andrew. That's 25 years ago.
Oh, hold on. Isn't
I,
Catch Me If You Can after Minority Report?
I don't think so. It may
I
be,
thought
but
it was,
it
but it's
may be,
close. It's
but
close.
that's like my last favorite Spielberg movie was Minority Report with Cruise and Colin Farrell. Like
Which I
that,
did think about that movie while I was watching this, by
right.
the way. But yeah.
So this movie had me 2/3 in. I loved the first two acts of this movie. Like it got me from the start. I think this is maybe Emily Blunt's finest performance I've ever
I
seen
had
her
that
in.
thought too. I like her in the Quiet Place ones, but again, it has to be a muted,
Right.
like emotional, a lot of face moments. So, but yes, I'm with you.
But I thought she was funny. I thought she was engaging. I loved her and Wyatt Russell's character.
Yeah.
But the third act is where it kind of started losing me a little bit. Like I was on the bus and then I was off the bus. I don't know. Like the last scene, the last act kind of like got me. It just didn't end the way I thought it should end, I guess, for
Right.
me. But man, I was engaged. I was all in it. It felt like a summer movie. Like it had all the elements
Sure.
of like, hey, this is your ride. Get on. Boom. We're gonna
Yes.
do that. But at the end of the day, man, I thought it was a little bloated, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I didn't hate it. I liked it, but I just wanted to be all in on it. And I just can't get myself there, if that makes sense.
No, it makes complete sense because I have a lot of those same feelings. Like I said, I think this is a lot of classic Spielberg feel, and especially the first time I felt it in a long time, because Fablemans isn't like a blockbuster, even though I like that movie. And I'm trying to think of the last time I felt like that true Spielberg action adventure romp thing. And I think that's kind of maybe what you're speaking to with the Minority Report comp or whatever. Like it's probably been quite some time because I wasn't a Ready Player One fan. He did a lot of movies that were kind of, like your Bridge of Spies or something like that, or where it's like, or The Post, and a lot of like historical things, slowed down, more methodical, men in rooms kind of stuff versus action adventure. So that's a different type of Spielberg that we're accustomed to. But this one had, the car chases, the train escape, the score was very good. It had that almost Western feel of like a white hat, black hat, like you really knew like the villains and the chase. Like it had that very much old school feel. And in fact, I had the thought of that it felt a little ET-ish or Minority Report-ish, where the chase specifically, like this kind of organization hunting them down while they're trying to escape because they know the real truth and they're just trying to survive it to put it all out there eventually. It has that there, right? It has the bones of that. And who better to do it than Spielberg, right? So I was in on those things. I think it's the things around it that aren't as compelling, and mostly character design. Because I think if I could take scenes and be ecstatic, like especially the fake house escape, agents running into things, invisible fire truck, the whole thing, that was pretty cool. The train was like a huge thing. I know it's a Spielberg thing he's wanted to do correctly, as he put it, or like more intently, since he did a version of it with Duel back in the day. So I know all this, and it's the guy you want to do this. But I think if I thought about like the characters or like certain conversations and things like that, I'm not going back to a lot of the leads with that. And also the Coleman Domingo side, that whole part, I didn't feel really a lot there either, the connection. And partly, I don't know when the last time you watched Close Encounters or what your relationship is to that, but I thought that movie was going to correlate a lot more to this movie because that was kind of the implication, especially because you saw the cloud images of the alien stuff and it felt like exactly like Close Encounters in that regard. Plus, I thought maybe there was a possibility that these people And they kind of do. They dance around of like, oh, these prior encounters we've had and reverse engineering some of the technology and the experience. They didn't make direct parallels, but they were like, you remember that time in
Yeah.
74, whatever. That was definitely part of it. But I just think, and you were speaking to the third act, I think the reason why maybe the third act after the escape from the house and all that stuff felt lesser than is because I just didn't bond with those characters in the way they should. It doesn't feel like the payoff equaled the chase and all the other stuff. Once that died down, I felt like the movie died down, and then you started to feel the weight of the runtime because of it.
Yeah. Totally agree. Like, especially with the Josh O'Connor character. Like,
which I usually love him.
Yeah, he is.
And I
great.
thought he was good, but again, I just didn't bond with that character. I don't know what the disconnect was, whether it was because he immediately started in the muck and we didn't kind of get to see him develop it. Or I also thought there was maybe like a character too many.
Yeah.
Too, between the Coleman Domingo, Emily Blunt, and Josh O'Connor, because if you go back to Close Encounters, it's just Dreyfuss.
Right.
And then he meets up with people, but it's really about Dreyfuss.
And I felt like this could have been just Emily Blunt, and I would have been fine with it. Like,
I think so too.
Yeah, her journey. Because she was engaging. I was in with her. And then again, the Coleman Domingo character, like you said, I echo that. I didn't really vibe with that character. It's like, okay. The whole triumvirate between him, Emily Blunt, and Josh O'Connor, it just didn't hit well with me for some reason. Like, I just didn't feel that. So I didn't feel the weight of those characters, like you said. So for me, the third act, again, there's moments where it was cool. Like you said, the whole invisible room and people like running into the fire engines and stuff like that, I thought was cool. But, and I like Colin Firth in this turn. I like him as like the black hat villain in this movie.
Yeah, but again, there's something to that where it's from far away and he's like interacting with extra tech. Like it's a little bit, it has a disconnect a little
bit. But at the end of the day, like, I didn't feel his character either. So I, again, I just feel the way I do with Project Hail Mary, which I catch a lot of flack for. I like Project Hail Mary way more than this movie. But as far as like critics go with this movie, I just feel like I was in it and then I was out of it. And it's a good movie. It's an entertaining movie. It's a blockbuster summer movie. I feel it. I just didn't like it as much as I thought I would, or at least going into it, I left feeling a little like, really? Okay. So I don't know.
Yeah. Did you at least, to give credit to Cap and maybe some of the extra things as far as dialogue or other scenes with characters that I liked and liked hearing about, how'd you feel about like the kind of the conversations about whether like the interaction between the discovery of aliens and religion, I thought was interesting, but I thought only had like essentially 2 scenes, which is fine. But it's one of those things that it was like, we want to talk about this, but it's not what ultimately it's about. Even though you can equate that it's about, humanity experiencing something bigger and challenging ourselves and all that, like that is in the backbeat here, but it's really not once the thing kind of ends.
I thought, and I'm glad you pointed that out because I kind of forgot about that, but like I was actually like applauding Spielberg for putting this forward and having us think about the existential religion versus science kind of thing. And like, and I was grooving with that, but like you said, he hit it in a couple scenes, especially with oh God, what's her name? Sorry,
Elizabeth Marvel as the nun.
Yeah, the whole nun scene and his girlfriend when she's like gripping the cross and making her hand bleed in that table scene, and like
I really liked that scene.
I did too.
Yeah,
I thought Spielberg should have dove more into that. And again, we got like 2 scenes, and then it was. Again, it makes you think about it, which I'm glad he did because I like that kind of stuff and it makes you think. But like he teased it and then he pulled away from it, I thought.
I felt
So,
that way too, where it was like a lot of ideas, a lot of
yep,
details, a lot of organizations that we have to get used to, a lot of characters. So I felt like I had two thoughts because, again, it's Spielberg. Is this a movie that with rewatches will improve because now that I've digested it in one manner, that I can kind of get more into the weeds in rewatches and kind of enjoy it more? I think there is a possibility. But again, I think it comes down to character where I don't think it'll linger. It's definitely not going to be like a top 10
right,
Spielberg movie by any stretch. But I wonder if I will like it more. But I think this is a very much a lot of massive ideas and a lot of things going on to where you can get lost in the sauce. And part of that is the script, and part of that might just be what it wants to present itself as. And I think some people, I wonder if the reviewers, especially like the critics, the ones that really like it, maybe were able to watch this more and really get into everything about it versus maybe someone who only got to watch it once and have to make a deadline, or something like
right.
us.
Yeah, I do think I want to rewatch this film again because I think it deserves it.
Right.
But the whole time I'm sitting here, Andrew, I'm not gonna lie, I keep thinking about Spielberg and his, the Scorsese's and all these other,
Yeah.
um, directors. And I will say for Spielberg, though, for me, I'm more on with him because I think Scorsese's lost it. I really do. His last three movies, I didn't care much for. I think Spielberg has
Yeah.
more to say than Scorsese. So, contemporary speaking, between the two, I'm more engaged with what Spielberg has to offer and what he's putting out there.
Well,
And
it's also more palatable because it's
right,
blockbuster entertainment.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. And I really do enjoy this film. Again, I kept thinking like Minority Report for me is like, but again, that's 25 years ago, man. That's a long time ago. Like,
Yeah.
I really loved one of his films, but this one was really good. I enjoyed it. I was in lockstep for the most part of this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Trust me. And I was hoping that this was going to be more of a return to form. And in some ways it is.
Right.
Like I said, I wanted to lead off here saying absolutely when, you're having the train where the car is pressed up against it and they're doing the escape and they're getting shot at and everything else. And like some of the car weaving in and out and you get that classic John Williams score and everything else. That will make you feel the feels,
Mhm.
but there is some version of this that just doesn't work for me. Like that there's like I'm at an arm's length with it and I wanted to be more bonded to it. But
Yep.
this is why I kind of asked you about the Close Encounters thing too, because in my rewatch of that, I don't know, I just didn't seem to I'm not a huge fan of that one too. So if you want to say like, but I like that movie better than I like this, and I think it's because it's more of a direct story. The problem is that both don't have like this emotional component that really speaks to later Spielberg when he's at his best, where he can mix those things that he does, where it's the
Right.
big action adventure, big blockbuster tentpole stuff mixed with the heart and the emotion and the way he shoots things. And then nobody does action adventure scenes better than him, like in your Indiana Jones heyday and everything else. So yeah, I don't know. There's something I literally came out of that movie like I was almost dreading this conversation because I feel like I may come back to the table and say I like certain things more upon rewatch.
Right.
But for right now, to me, and we can open it up now, to me, this is a 3.5. And I think so looking at those scores that I let off with here, I think a lot of people are in that exact same score.
I left the theater thinking the same thing. It's a strong 3.5 for me. Like, not a weak one. It's a strong one. I wanted to get it to 4 so bad, but
Sure.
I just couldn't. I couldn't
I know.
after like breaking everything down
Yep.
and logic. Think about it. It's a strong 3.5. Enjoyable. Go see it. Like, enjoy it. I just can't get it past the 3.5 for me.
Yeah. And congrats to Eve Houston too, because I think she broke out here. I did not know her game.
Yeah,
And
me either.
I came to this, I came out of that leaving with being impressed by her. It's a tough one. Again, it's not going to be peak. Is this for you? Because I mean, Spielberg is almost 80 or is 80.
Close to it.
You think he's got more in the tank because you're seeing this, that you're willing to keep riding with Papa?
I am. Like I said, I think he has more in the tank than Scorsese does. And I don't know why I compare the two, because I guess Scorsese just put out like movies in the last couple of years, and
I think they just care about very different things, so they're very much they're tough to compare to. Yeah,
but based on what they currently put out, I'm rolling with Papa Spielberg, more than I am with Scorsese, and that's tough for me to say, because if you put their catalogs next to each other, I'm going to choose Scorsese films more than I would Spielberg films.
Sure,
but in this case, like, I want more Spielberg. Like, I think he has, and unlike you, I liked Ready Player One. Yeah, I did. I read the book. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was cool. So, I
think it's more concept and flair than something I can engage with, but I'm with you. I understood why he felt compelled to do it, but it's definitely lower tier. I think I haven't. I don't know. I thought at one point I did my rankings on Letterboxd.
I thought about doing it.
Them and
but
because again, like, there are movies I really like and they wouldn't make top 5 Spielberg, which is so hard. Because to me, like, I know off the top of my head, 5-star bangers is, Last Crusade, Catch Me If You Can, Jurassic Park. I'm doing this off the top of my head, which is a bad idea, but you understand the point. Like, Jaws, obviously. So, like, those 4 are like Mount Rushmore almost for my personal history, let alone anything with one director. But yeah, I'd have to really think. And a movie like this, I mean, he's done so many movies. It's not like Tarantino where you're like, he only has 10 or is about to hit his 10th. So that's a little bit different. So, but I'm not with you. I'd rather, like, Spielberg is probably my favorite director of all time. So I'd rather watch his stuff than Scorsese. That's not to poo-poo. I love them both.
Right.
But yeah, Spielberg has always had like a place in my heart for what he combines and what he's done for what my brain says is blockbuster entertainment. He is unassailable.
Yep.
So I'm with you. I'm willing to keep riding with him until the wheels fall off, because I think there's always something to take away. Even thinking back, like, I have certain eye roll things about even something like Crystal Skull or something, and I still will be like, yeah, but remember that scene where he did this, or remember this part. So it's tough to like discount anything he's done. So, but this one is not going to make it to some major list. But I'm glad we talked about it, and I am like I said, very fearful of that. I'm going to come back with more. But speaking of coming back for more, we will be back next week for another thing that's very near and dear to our hearts. Widow's Bay has their finale on Apple TV Plus coming up this Wednesday, tomorrow, after the day after this is recorded. So we are pumped for that. We are going to talk about that film next week. I love the fact that you already have seen The Furious, and you can maybe chime in to give like a minute of your time on that one too. But you're also going to see that with your kids this weekend. What a Father's Day for you.
Yes, absolutely. Dude, The Furious is a pants off movie. Like, I got so tight in
It is for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. It's not like The Night Comes for Us, but it's close. It's very much like The Raid. The action scenes were just unbelievable. Like, the last half hour of that film, when you have like 5 characters locked on each other, and it's like a nonstop battle for 30 minutes. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, where have you been all my life? Like, I need more of these movies.
Right.
Loved it. I gave that movie a 4.5. Like, I love that movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. So go see The Furious if you haven't seen it. It's like,
And apparently take your kids.
yeah, it's partially dubbed, partially
Yes.
not. But like you said, like, I don't care. Like, I've seen this movie. Like you said, I take my kids. Should I take my 12-year-old? Probably not, but I am. I don't care. Like,
Right. He needs to know if he's going to get abducted one day, what's in store when his dad comes for him.
Right. He needs this film in his life, and I'm going to provide that for him. I loved this freaking movie. And like we discussed off the mic, I love Joe Taslim. Like, he's in The Raid. He's in, like, Cubs Roast. He's in all these movies. I love that guy. I just wish they would give him a better character arc to work with, because it just is what it is with him in these movies.
Sure. Yeah.
I loved it, Andrew. 4.5. One of my top movies of the year. I can't wait to see it again. I can't wait to see it again.
And we'll probably talk soon about another movie you saw, Power Ballad, which, you know, seemed to hit well with you as well. But yeah, for next week, it's really just looking Widow's Bay. Well, I'm probably going to see Toy Story 5 with my family, you know, because it's that kind of a weekend, which is why I love the back and forth between us, where it's like you're taking your kids to the Furious. I'm going to be sitting there and, you know, with my kids and my parents and my brother and whatever, just all watching, you know, Toy Story 5. But that is it, man.
Yep.
That is life in a nutshell. And that's what the summer is all about. So stick with us. Come back next week when we talk about everything we are catching. I just love Widow's Bay. My whole Instagram feed is just all Patricia, by the way.
Yeah.
It's all Patricia, and I am not complaining one bit. But like, subscribe, do the thing, and meet us back here next week for more recent activity.